Good morning, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Gardener channel. Today we are doing a little bit of a bittersweet video. This is actually our last episode. We're going to be shooting in our little garden here in Kenya. It's because we are moving with our job, so we are going to be leaving in a few days, and we had a chance to do this last farewell video in our garden. It's a little bit sad to let go of all your beautiful plants, all your beautiful flowers, and this garden that we had built up in the last 5 years. But it's also exciting as we move to a new apartment. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge in terms of setting up a new garden, but also exciting to see how we can grow new plants in that new environment. We're going to be moving to a new zone as well in terms of the growing zone. So it's going to definitely bring some new exciting vegetables and flowers that we can grow that we couldn't grow here in Africa. But of course, it's very sad to leave our lovely garden here, all the hard work that we put in and the beautiful products that came out of our garden, the beautiful environment with the birds and the bees and all the animals that we got because of our garden. So it's going to be quite sad leaving our babies back here. But we did get lucky to actually give away a lot of our plants and flowers to some of our friends, to also an avid gardener who was interested to take a lot of our plants. So we were quite lucky. But we do have some plants left here that are in ground, and I wanted to show you guys what's left and before we move out as well. So let's get going. So you may remember this is our vegetable plot on the back side of the garden, and basically we are growing all the different vegetables and some of the fruits in this part of the garden. A lot of this garden is looking a bit bare because we have given away some of the plants, and also because we are trying to wind up and trying to minimize the amount of vegetables and fruits growing here, because we don't know if the next person will be able to manage to keep them. So it's best for us to not sow anymore any of the seeds, or to increase the let's say the number of plants that are here. So we're just winding up some of these plants. We still have our beautiful strawberries here. As you can see, we're getting some nice new fruits coming up. The strawberries have done really well throughout this year, and I'm glad we experimented with it. Lemongrass patch here that's been always doing well. We also have over there some of the lemongrass. We use it quite heavily for cooking as well as for making nice lemongrass juices, as well as in our tea. We have our kamangi here. You might remember from some of the earlier videos, kamangi is like a basil lime mix. In terms of the flavor, it's beautiful. It comes from the basil family as well. It's been doing really great, and we have next to the basil some of the pak choi, also doing well. And we do have also, as you can see, we have taken some of the leaves, so that's why it's looking a bit bare. We just took out few leaves for cooking. We also have the okra, and then we have the iceberg lettuce next to that. We did have a little small patch here of coriander, but they unfortunately went to seed, and you can see they had bolted, and some of them have died out. We have some of the carrots. As you can see here, the nice leaves of the carrots here. So this was our carrot patch. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get the, let's see if actually we might be able to harvest some. These are actually the fingerling carrots, so they're quite small. So you can see some of the tops are coming off from the carrot, which is a good sign. It means that it is ready to be harvested. We might take out one. Oh, here we go. Perfect. This will be great. So I think we're going to harvest all of these, in fact, since it looks like they're ready. So this is the regular size of these small fingerling carrots. They're very sweet, and I'm glad we're actually able to get this harvest before we go. We'll come back to that to harvest. We have some marigolds here, which is really great for pest control and to diversify our vegetable garden. We have turmeric that's growing here. We use the leaves and the roots for cooking, and we have given away a lot of our turmeric, so that's why you don't see a bunch now. Some tomatoes here next to the marigold, and we have a nice tomato patch growing here, and some are actually starting to fruit. I am not sure if we'll get any fruits before we go that would be ready for eating, but hopefully the next person will benefit because everyone likes tomatoes. And then we have the huge cassava that you see here coming up. Not sure if we'll be able to harvest, but hoping we can get the roots before we go the tuber. But definitely we have used so much of the leaves from this tree, and another cassava there as well. We have been always cooking cassava leaves in Indonesian cooking, so it's been so helpful for us. We have some more chilies and tomatoes here in the corner. That's been really great. We've been using these chilies throughout the year. And then on this part of the garden, this part of the plot, we have some beautiful parsley. We have the flat parsley, and then we have the other variety of parsley. I forget the name, but they have also been really great. My wife actually uses them for making nice soups, and they're great for salad as well, like tabbouleh. And here's another huge chili tree that's done really great. This is the third year it's been growing, and you can see it's very strong from the base, very stable, and so many flowers and chilies coming out from this one. It's gigantic. It's been doing so well. It's going to be sad leaving this one. And then we have some more cassavas here. Lots of leaves coming up, and I don't think we'll be able to harvest the tuber because it's a bit early. It takes generally 3 years for a cassava tree to mature to get the fruit. It can take 3 to 4 years, but you can always use the leaves in the meantime. Some more chilies here on this part of the plot, and at the base we have put some Elysium flowers, which are doing really great. Beautiful flowers that bring a lot of bees to the plot. And this huge onion that's been superb for us. It's been there for 1 year now. We have not harvested this onion. We just keep plucking off these nice big leaves. That's delicious in flavor for cooking, for stir fries, for throwing in your omelette. It's amazing. So we love having this onion with us until the last day we leave. Forgot to mention, we also did really well with cucumber this season. They're just about to die off now, but we had a lot of harvest this year after 3 years of failures. But we changed the way we actually grow them, and including the positioning, watering, and they did really well this year. So they're just drying off now before the winter. Some more pak choy and turmeric. This is our eggplant. Some more eggplant there, but and that's really it for this part of the vegetable plot. This vegetable plot has given us so much variety of fruits, vegetables, herbs that we have been growing. It's been a joy having this plot. We have really loved having this plot and trying out different vegetables, failing a lot of times, but then when you see the end products coming out, and then the fruits and flowers coming out, you're just really delighted to keep going and keep growing as well. It really becomes such a joy. On this part of the fence, you may remember we used to grow different variety of herbs and flowers as well. We have some amaranth that's actually drying off. We have been taking the leaves for a while from this one, And then we also have grown some trees here, hoping that they mature in a couple of years. Of course, we'll be gone, but it will be a nice addition to this house because it's on the fence. It will look nice with having these guavas. So we have few guavas here, another guava here, and then cassavas as well, which are great for fencing because they do grow quite tall as well, and vertically, so they look nice. And then we have also planted one mango here with the seed, so this will be a nice addition to the house in the future years as well. Still snake plants patch, and they have done so well with some succulents in here as well. Absolutely beautiful. You can see some of the flowers also coming out from the snake plant. Another flower here, beautiful, coming out. And then a nice huge cactus that's been growing. And this part of the compost, so this is our compost pile that's been great. We have been using it for the last 4.5-5 years. So much compost has come out of this pile in the last years, and we keep adding to it, hoping the next person uses it as well. It's so great to have this. And this is our little pumpkin plant that we have been growing. You can see the flower is coming out, absolutely beautiful flower. And we have been training all our pumpkins to actually go up the fence, so we make it climb it, our natural fence here. You can see it's climbing to the top, and that's a perfect way to grow horizontally when you don't have a lot of space. So we actually use the trellis method on top of the cassava, and then basically had it climb the fence. And we are excited for the fruits to be coming out, since the flowers, we're getting some flowers now this season. I'm sure we'll get some fruits as well, but we won't be here to enjoy that, but something for the birds and for the next person to enjoy. We have the mango tree here. We have 2 mango trees. Where's one? And this is the second one. We had a lot of fruits this year from this one, the bigger mango tree, not so much from the little one. And it was quite delicious. We are lucky we got it before going. We also have the guava tree that's been great, giving us fruits year after year, tons and tons of fruits. We have a video about that. And we have the Turnberga flowers, the beautiful white trumpet-shaped flowers that we trained to climb this tree. I can show you. So we basically had planted it at the base and then trained it to climb the tree. So basically you can see it's all over the guava tree, and they have been living together really well, providing a nice amount of bees for the guava tree. The Turnberga has always been a nice shade as well for us to sit under the guava tree, and they have been really nicely symbiotically living together. We also have our lime tree here, and then some of the wild plants that we grew on the fence as well, just for fencing purpose. This is our little Christmas tree that's now 5 years old as well. We started it off as a baby. This little patch here, we have some cassava and then also some amaranth that's been doing really well. We also growing a mango tree here. And then after that we move on to the ornamental part of the garden, where we are mostly growing the flowers and the herbs. So let's get to that part. I forgot to mention, we do have some shallots also growing here. And on this part of the garden, before we go to the ornamental side, you will see we have a nice bird bath area, bird bath and feeding area, which we use it every day. And we get a lot of beautiful birds coming to drink water, to eat some of the food that we lay out. And it's next to the beautiful agave that we are growing here. under the monstera tree, which is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you from far. It's a gorgeous one, and it's next to our beautiful Turnberga on top of the guava. So a very nice environment having all of these next to our sitting area by the swing. So the first part of our ornamental garden, which we also use for growing some of the vegetables, it's looking a bit bare now, but we grow some of the shallots, some of the marigold, wildflowers, and then also some turmeric. You might see here we have a bunch of turmeric, spinach, and strawberry, so a good variety. And we've been using it over the last few years. It was actually just bare part of the garden, and then we laid out some of the compost, some of the manure, and then we built this plot up. This is our swing where we are always relaxing on nice days, which is quite a lot in Nairobi. We are lucky to have good weather, and our cat Carl loves to spend all the time on the swing. So on the first part of the ornamental garden, we have the marigolds, and then we also have zinnia that's coming up here. And we actually planted this. This was actually a volunteer. In fact, it's a bean, as you can see. So French beans that's coming up. It was a volunteer that came out of maybe birds moving some of the seeds from the compost, and it came up here. We have the heart of Christ that's also growing here. This was a plot for coriander, but they all bolted and dried off. We have some roses on this side. This is a pineapple plant that we've been growing, and basically it's so easy to grow them. You just take the top off, you put it in the ground, and you start to see it will come up after 14 to 16 months. You should get mature size like this, and they should also start to flower and fruit after that. This is our prickly pear that's humongous now. It's been doing really well. It's almost 5 years old. Another cactus here. Heart of Christ. This is our balsam next to the rose. Very easy and hardy to grow, and easy to propagate with the seeds, fruits that come up. This is our dianthus, beautiful flower. This is our tuberose. It never flowered, but hopefully for the next person it might come up. Some more balsam, and this is our beautiful, another beautiful zinnia that's growing. Lovely shape and color. And it's next to our beautiful dahlia that's matured really well. We got a lot of these dahlias last season, and hoping the next person gets to enjoy these as well, because it has matured and become such a huge plant through our pruning. This is Heart of Christ next to our tuberose as well, which is coming up. It's not flowering yet, it's not season. Some wildflowers that we have planted here, because it looks really beautiful when it's flowering and gets a lot of bees as well. A bunch of balsam, and then of course the patch that we have here, which is usually very beautiful with full of hydrangeas. We get different range of colors for the hydrangeas depending on the temperature and the soil acidity. So currently you can see these used to be actually pink, but they have actually gone to green as they're maturing, and given the temperature, as the temperature changes, acidity of the soil changes, the colors have now gone to green. Absolutely beautiful, and these are all blossoming. You can see two beautiful pink hydrangeas here. This is a dried marigold, some roses, some beautiful Mexican aster, Absolutely beautiful colors. And some wildflowers growing here. This is actually our patch where we have really beautiful hibiscus growing. As you can see, the pink hibiscus, absolutely beautiful. And we use the hibiscus flowers also for making some nice juice. It's perfect for that. You hear the ibis bird in the background, very loud. And then we have some succulents that are growing at the base of the hibiscus, different varieties. As you can see, we have the snake plant patch here, agave, another variety of agave, absolutely beautiful color. Cactus. And then next to that we have our little patch of some of the Mexican asters again that are doing really well. And we also have some chilies that are growing next to the cassava, and then some of the banana trees that we planted. These are actually the babies of a really big plantain banana tree that we used to have here that we actually harvested, as you can see in another video. So these are the babies of that one. They're doing really well. Exciting to see our babies coming up. This is actually a beautiful avocado tree that's coming up. We won't of course see it mature while we're here, but happy to see new trees coming up from scratch. So this basically was through a seed that we planted after consuming guacamole. After consuming the avocado, we planted the seed. Monsteras in this corner, absolutely beautiful. And then in this corner, we actually planted some roses. And then next, so this is the front side of the garden where we have the other ornamentals. We have the lavender bush here, we have the roses, and we have some more roses here, and then we have the jasmine. We have also the bromeliads here, which have done really well. They're not flowering currently, but they have beautiful red flowers as well. And then we have the herb square that we did a lot of videos about. We have the mints, the chives, we have also the rockets that are great for salad. We used to have basil here as well, but it has dried off. And next to our herb square, we have some chilies, some roses here. One of the roses here. And some cassavas, monstera. It's a good mix of different plants in the square. This entire section used to be just concrete, so we have actually turned it into a growing rectangular bed. Let me show you from far. This entire section was basically nothing growing, but we have now made it into a nice green space as well, maximizing the use of any space we find. We also have some cassava, beautiful hibiscus here. Let me show you, it's actually flowering. And we also have some jasmine here that's crawling up our gate. So it's a nice invitation to our home. And in this part of the house, we have the pothos that's been growing for 5 years. We have to keep trimming it because it's grown quite large. So it's growing on our gate as well. And that's really it. That's the entire section. We have, of course, some of the wild trees that we planted from scratch that are also now really growing quite tall. This particular one was the angel trumpet, which has beautiful flowers as well. Not currently blossoming, but it's great to see this tree come up from scratch. And that's really it. That's our entire garden. So that's really it, guys. This is the last video we're doing here in Kenya in our house. It's a bittersweet moment, leaving our house and our beautiful garden that's been really a joy for the last 5 years. But we hope to continue making videos and continue gardening in our new place. We're going to go in an apartment, so it's going to be a lot of urban gardening. Let's see how that goes. We're looking for a place with a balcony, so hopefully can garden. But definitely it won't be like this, having such a space. Even this is small for Kenya, but we made a good use of the space, grew so much, learned so much about gardening. Watching the bees, the birds coming to our garden was absolute joy, and hope to continue gardening and enjoying. And I think this will be a good memory for us, gardening here. And it's a bit sad as well, leaving our beautiful plants back, but hopefully it will bring joy to the next person who comes in. That's my cat Carl coming in. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope to continue posting videos. Please hit the like, subscribe button, and thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye.